Sorry, guys. I just was turning my fan off so that you guys don't have to hear it in the background before we begin. All right. Let's dive in. Tonight, our story begins not with... Oh, it's turning off. Yeah, it takes a second. Hopefully it'll turn off. Is it really that bad in the background?
It's pretty loud.
Huh, okay. You know what? Turn off fan. I'm gonna give it a minute before I get into my dramatic monologue.
Let's all just contemplate what might happen tonight for a minute or two. Let's theorize.
Episode
We're going to the beach at night.
at night.
At night?
Yes. Lockdown. No. The only thing that is a risk is you're technically, if you're traveling somewhere, you're supposed to announce yourself to like the Prince of like Greece. So that could technically be a bit of a problem that you're in like another territory. So you'll be fine leaving Chicago. As long as you don't breach the masquerade while leaving, you will be fine. The issue is presenting yourself in Greece, which I don't have plans for you guys to do because
We're on our secret. That's why we're on our secret jet. So they don't know.
I was gonna say, is that something that we would know though?
How
It's
would
like
they know?
We're aware that we should be a little.
I didn't have to do that in the other. I was in a different country, and I don't think Val did it.
that is true.
I'm
But
like, it's cool. They're fine with it.
but that is
cool
fine.
with it.
You guys will be, and it's a shorter trip, so like
Oh, I was muted
I
this
think-
whole time. Whoops.
I think you'll be fine. Oh, Chris was muted.
That's fine.
So the question, will Chris ask a question without any context? So the question that Chris asked was, will they be in trouble for with the Prince Jackson for leaving when there's currently like a lockdown because of the hunters? And the answer was no. The only trouble would be potentially traveling to another Camarilla domain. So yeah, okay. I think the fan is off. How does the audio sound now?
Good.
You're good.
All right, let's dive in, everybody. Tonight, our story begins not with the Lysanders, but at the University of Chicago campus. In the evening, we see a night class led by Professor Dimitrios Kalambaris, who is an elderly-looking individual with a haunted look in his face. To kindred, he goes by another name, Critias. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our exploration of ancient Sparta. Today, we delve into a society unlike any other in Greece. We'll be dissecting the Spartan approach to family and children, a system unlike the warm, nurturing families we might know today. Much of what we know of Sparta actually comes from Athens, as Spartans rarely had any written laws or records. Unlike other Greek societies, the Spartan family revolved around the state, not the individual. Newborns underwent harsh inspection, and all children were put under a harsh education and training system, of course, mostly for military service. Those deemed weak, well, that's a story for another night. While family was important to Spartans, it was all about how their skill and prowess could be put to serve their society better. Nothing was more important than that. Sparta was all about raising up their children to reach their utmost potential. As we explore further, we'll see how this system produced legendary warriors, but of course, came at a great cost. And his lecture to hundreds of students at the university continues. And the camera fades from that lecture. And we're brought to the Lysanders, who had just agreed on traveling as siblings to find the answers that they seek. They received troubling news from Val's sire, Annabelle, and the continued lockdown in Chicago has brought them to a point of perhaps it's time to leave for a bit of time, be away. But in the coming nights, as they prepare, Machiavelli does return after delivering a note from Willow. Arrangements are made to get a private jet, not a Lysander-owned jet, but with Dorian's help, they get a jet under a different name. But before anyone can think of their soon departure from this city, where we left off last week was each of you receiving a summons from your father to visit at the family home. So my question is, for the four of you, do you answer that call or do you ignore it? You are well within your right to say no if you choose, but I'm just curious, who would go to visit your father after his summons?
Silas would.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Dorian would go to this one too.
I'll go lurk.
Okay.
So are you coming with, or are you just like coming to the house?
No, I'll go to the meeting.
Hey,
Fuck
Willow.
that guy. Oh, he used blood sorcery on us. I'm sending Machiavelli in as my liaison.
Do you want me to bring him, or do you want him to be hidden?
I want him to be hidden.
Okay.
I ain't going. Fuck that guy. I'm making a point.
I appreciate that.
Okay. I should have expected that. Everybody but Willow and Machiavelli. Okay. So the three of you and Machiavelli answer. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing him coming in like a suit holding a little briefcase. I'm
just-
Willow's lawyer.
Someone's carrying him, and they just like put it on Dad's desk, and he just like sits at attention.
But I actually put a little rat desk on top of his desk, and then Machiavelli goes at that.
Oh my god. Anyway, yeah.
You all make your way to the house, the family house, and you wait a bit for, Silas, you arrive, Dorian, you arrive, Val, you arrive. You wait a bit, and Willow doesn't arrive, but Machiavelli does show up. And your father doesn't really say anything about it. He waits a bit, but when she doesn't show, he just continues what he was looking to say. Your father looks at all of you with... You actually see genuine concern in his face. My children, I know these past nights have been turbulent, troublesome, dangerous. I know what happened, the attack on the boat. And I want to... He closes his eyes and you see him take a second. I want to apologize that I wasn't there for all of you after it happened. And you see him, he does take a moment to sigh. Again, a more habitual thing than it is actually taking a breath of air. I know we have not been on the best of terms, but I would never want anything bad to happen to any of you, and I would never want any of my children to fall at the hands of hunters. So I'm sorry that this happened.
Well, with that being said, I assume you have everyone at your disposal working to find these people?
Yes. As a matter of fact, we do. I want to explain some things first. Hunters have consistently targeted our family in the past, likely due to our name often being in the spotlight. Then this is why generally the Camarilla frowns upon kindred keeping social profiles, keeping a social life, being on social media, public appearances. When the light is shed on you, it's only inevitable that eventually hunters will catch on. If they find out one thing about your family, and then they will stop at nothing. My brother was killed by hunters. Your actual Uncle Jack. The hunters killed one of our ghouls about a year ago. And I don't want any of you to be the next target.
So what do we do?
Well, from my understanding, these hunters also have organizations. Some ways like our kindred societies, I suppose. Some are more ingrained in the government, some with the church, sometimes both. Some just operate rogue, I guess. This particular group that attacked you all seems to have some ties to the church. And I have been working with the prince on this. He plans to offer up some sacrifices to calm the hunters down in their current bloodthirst, for lack of a better term.
Wait, what? Kindred sacrifices.
That's what they want. And if we give them what they want, they'll calm down.
What?
From my understanding, an anarch was recently captured. So perhaps some additional anarch sacrifices
But
will
not.
keep them at bay for some time.
So not Camarilla.
I'm confused.
Oh, yay, 4th of July next week, you guys probably. God damn it, America.
Oh my
I
god.
was gonna say,
The hunters outside your door.
The hunters are here.
This
a
is
trap.
why we're going to Greece.
Yeah.
Do you say that out loud? Do you say...
No, out of character. What were you saying, Dorian or Silas?
So, I mean, why are they so intent on our family? Why us in particular? And why do we think that anarchs would call them off? Well,
If we say that one of the anarchs is aligned with our family, then perhaps it will keep their lookout for us. It'll satiate their hunger in our terms, I suppose. They need to feed like us. They feed off of hunting down us. It's not going to It's not going to make things better forever. They always come crawling out of whatever holes they come from to try to make another attack, but it will at least keep this lockdown and all of the red alerts that Jackson has. It'll keep things under control.
Why don't we just kill them, Daddy? It's only a temporary solution. Otherwise, why bother treating with them when this is what we get?
That is the goal. Perhaps in offering them a gift, we kill them along the way. It is hard. Some of them are equipped with the exact things that they know will harm us. If one of us gets captured, all they do is keep us out in the sunlight. Fire, sometimes even the faith that they have works. But I agree. I would like to kill them. But we need an army for this battle. It cannot just be us.
Look, I'm not questioning Prince Kevin Jackson's motives, but I mean, isn't that like rule number 1 to not negotiate with terrorists? Especially
really
when our numbers are as dwindling as they are.
Do you have a better solution, son?
I agree with Val.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm with that too. I don't understand what the problem is.
I mean, this isn't a, let's be honest, I mean, this isn't a Lysander fight. This is a Camarilla fight.
Unless there's something that you're still not telling us, Dad.
How do you
Is there a
propose we kill
reason?
them, then?
What? The same way we'd kill any humans we needed to with money. What do we have all this for if not to take care of our own?
Humanity 7, by the way.
In the past, I've called...
They tried to kill us, okay? They started it.
In the past, I've called anarchs little ants because they always seem to show up when you don't want them to. But ants, they're pretty easy to get rid of. If you put out some ant traps, a couple of days, they'll be gone. Hunters, they're more like termites. They come into your home and destroy everything. And even if you try to get rid of them, they embed in everything. They have sources and resources that we don't have access to. They come when you least expect it. And of course, the advantage is they walk in the day. Silas, I'm sure you've done enough research on your clan.
Of course.
Did you know the Tremere used to have a chantry in Vienna
I did.
taken
Yes.
completely by hunters when they least expected it? London, the city of London, was a thriving city of kindred. You wouldn't find a single kindred there now. It was destroyed by hunters. They're not just some mere threat you can just take out with money or resources. Before you know it, when you don't expect it, when you're out on a boat, they come and destroy everything.
I mean, look, I support whatever gets these hunters off our backs, but look, if they could destroy the Vienna Chantry, if they can wipe all of the kindred out of London, you really think they're going to buy that this specific anarch is a Lysander? They've done their due diligence. They probably have all of our names, our social security numbers by this time.
Like I said, this is not a permanent solution. It is a band-aid for the current problem. You're right. This is not going to solve all of our problems. However, like I said, we need an army. We need to prepare. So this is our temporary solution. But by all means, if any of you have better solutions that you'd like to present to the prince, we're all ears.
So this is your idea, not the prince's?
This was a joint idea between myself, some members of the Primogen Council, and the prince, as this was a direct attack on my family.
Okay. So are we supposed to make this look like they were kidnapped by hunters, or I mean, as far as I understand it, the Anarchs have a sort of relationship in Chicago now. Is that just out the window? Are we throwing all of them to the wolves here?
The park, not wolves, son, to the hunters. Sorry, no. I'm sorry. Your father is not a jokester.
There's no fucking humor here. You get one rat joke. Move on. This isn't comedy hour. We get one.
The park that you all secured, we're thinking of using that area as a grounds to make these negotiations. And the Anarchs are so keen on that area because Lupine are there, or at least were there at some point. This may create some rifts between the Camarilla and the Anarchs of Chicago, but it is the least of Jackson's worries at this point. Their numbers are dwindling.
You mentioned there used to be Garu in the park.
They haven't been seen in some time.
And what if they returned?
Perhaps more sacrifices for the hunters, then. I'm sure they'll be happy to kill anything that isn't human. As a matter of fact, that would kill two birds with one stone. We can take care of the hunter problem. Perhaps some of the lupine problem.
I understand you said it's a band-aid, but it just feels like a very old, disgusting, infection-ridden band-aid.
Like I said, other proposals are willing to be shared if you have them.
I'll put some pen to paper.
That's how my son should be acting. Look, I understand that I am, as a father, am harsh. I'm not blind to this. I'm rather self-aware of how our relationship has been in all of these years. in our previous lives and in our unlives. I know Jacques has always been soft on all of you. He's different in our family. He's in Nosferatu. But that's how our family has always been. Harsh. My father was harsh on me. My grandfather was harsh. And it took me some time to learn why they were like that. Why our family was always like this. And I eventually understood.
Yeah, it's called generational trauma, Dad.
And when... yes, Val, that is... I think we all have that. When is this trade being proposed?
That is still being worked out. Perhaps in the coming weeks.
Okay.
And are we supposed to make this happen?
I would advise not, as you were the previous targets of the attack. This is something the Camarilla will take care of.
Okay.
Does this mean you owe a life boon to someone?
The debts that I owe within the Camarilla are my own, son.
Are they?
Yes, they are.
Really, Dad, like, how fucked is this family? Like, do you want to just be honest with us for even a second about what's going on?
Dorian, he's been more honest in the past 10 minutes than he has in a very long time.
What am I supposed to be grateful for that? I'm drowning of thirst and he gives us a couple drops. I'm supposed to thank him?
Our family isn't fucked, Dorian. But like I've always said, my goal for us as a family is to build allies. Allies within your own clans. Within the Tremere, the Toreador, the Malkavians. Even Ventrue allies. I am building allies within the Lysander.
Yeah, we know.
So no, we're not fucked.
All right.
The Camarilla
guess
is
I'll
on
just have to
our
trust you.
side. But we need to strike down all of our other enemies. The Garu. The Second Inquisition. That's what needs to be dealt with. The Anarchs. Continue to build allies. And continue to stay safe. And you see him kind of like turn, and usually when he does the turn, it's like he said all he needs to say.
This conversation is over.
Yep. And he looks out the window.
This is dramatic, Lysanders.
Is there anything any of the rest of you would like to do, or is that kind of where the conversation ends?
Val is planning on staying behind once the others leave, so I guess she's still sitting in her seat.
We'll be downstairs.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll see you in a minute.
Come on, Machiavelli.
Oh, he's scurrying.
He's in the walls.
You see your
Dad?
father turn slightly toward you. You're still here, Val. Is there something you'd like to say?
You said we need an army? Why? Don't we already have one? You told me about that ancient power that we alone have. Why don't we use it?
He sits for a moment when you say this. It's not something I ever want to use. Unless I absolutely have to. Unless we absolutely have to.
Well, your daughter that you care so much almost got murdered by a hunter very, very nearly. It seems like now's as good a time as ever. They still haven't caught them, and if they're just going to satisfy them temporarily, I don't... What's the point of having access to the power if you don't use it?
It's not that simple, Val. What we have, the power that we have, wouldn't just destroy hunters, it could destroy everybody. It could destroy the prince, the entire Primogen Council, if it wanted to. When your brother asks if we're really in trouble, the answer is no. Because even Prince Jackson knows that is something we hold. And nobody else in the city has that, except our family.
So that's our only use for it? Mutually assured destruction? A bargaining chip? Not something we'll actually use? What if somebody calls our bluff?
Then we just have to bring them to it. Building allies, building an army. That is one part of the battle. Having people on our side assures us that we don't ever have to use something like that. That is our first step in this process. That is why I want you all to build those allies.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to tell me twice. I've made friends. I've played nice. It's not that hard. It just seems like it's not fixing many problems at this point.
Val, I know you're close with your siblings. And it wouldn't surprise me if you told them about what I told you. As a matter of fact, I almost think that it might be true. And that's all right. Eventually, all of you need to know about it. And it doesn't necessarily have to come from my lips. As a matter of fact, on that, I wouldn't want it to, because of the relationship I have with my children. You being the one to tell your siblings was probably the best way for it to go. I know it's probably frustrating for all of you, knowing that something exists within our family. But know it is a power that, in a way, we've been burdened with, and we must tread carefully. Not every family, kindred family, has what we have. And our lineage is very unique. in that sense.
Right. With great power comes great responsibility, right?
I suppose.
Glad Silas took me to see that movie. You did it.
I did not know that was a movie reference. I just thought my daughter was making a profound quote.
A profound quote.
Damn, did I just get dragged?
Oh my god.
I thought you were being wise, child.
Yeah. Sure. Whatever. Maybe you should make some friends, Dad. Like, real friends. People to care about. Not just because you have to, because you're related to them. Like, people you want to care about.
Like your mother.
Yeah.
I just don't know if things will ever be the same. If I'll ever be the same.
It's interesting to hear you say that when you talk so much about this predestined bloodline responsibility and how everything has to be the way that it is. It can change, and that's not just. You're not even like a real person, Dad. I don't mean that like a vampire, like I just humanity. Any of it, empathy. It's like I'm talking to a robot.
I've had these same chats with all of your siblings. You all come with the same thing, but you don't understand how this burden, it's taken everything from me, Val.
And why is that our fault?
It's not your fault. All of the things and all of the baggage that comes with your name, it's only the fault of mine. So go ahead and resent me. They all do. And that's just how it is.
I just wish you wouldn't settle for that, Dad. And she'll walk out. Turn and walk out.
You exit. You're Dorian.
I was gonna say that while they were talking, I think Dorian would have been like pacing, like in front of Silas, and just like Willow had the right idea. None of us should have come here. Well, this was.
What's on your mind?
I just thought maybe after literal hunters tried to take out his children, that maybe he'd just tell us the truth and just talk to us. You know, basic respect, even let alone love for your children. I'm not even expecting that anymore. I just want him to let us know what the hell is happening.
I gave up on that a long time ago. Trying to get 100% clarity from him. But when it comes to shit like this, I mean, I know we haven't talked about it like we should have. We fucking went to that house and played Monopoly, but we could have died. Well, again. Like that was a real chance. I mean, dealing with a couple of Garu, that's one thing. These hunters, Dorian, they're like the antithesis of us. Like, they destroyed the biggest chantry in the world. Just walked through the front door. They cleansed an entire city, Dorian.
Yeah, I get that. But do you really believe everything Dad just told us?
A part of me does, yeah. Look, I know he didn't... He's not a straight shooter. He never was. But a part of me believes him, yeah.
You think that Mom believed him? Do you think that...
In what scenario?
Do you think that Dad maybe said the same thing to her? You ever think maybe he told her, I don't want to see anything bad happen to you?
Yes, I do believe that, yeah.
I'm just starting to realize that the only family Dad has is himself.
And besides us four, I mean, you got kids and your wife. How's that going, by the way? I know we haven't really talked about it.
Honestly, better.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's good. But not
And
to
it's
get off.
because
yeah.
I am not like Dad.
What do you mean?
It doesn't matter. Look, I'm just more convinced than ever that we need to go to Greece. This is a good idea. And we'll learn more answers there.
It doesn't sit well with me, but I think you're right. I just... I'm honestly scared.
Yeah. Well, at least we're probably getting far away from those hunters.
I'm sure there's hunters in Greece.
Yeah, but not those hunters. I hope.
It's...
That would be fucked if
I mean,
we found them there.
he just said it's generally like they're affiliated with the church. I mean,
All right, you boys all packed?
oh, I
Yeah.
mean, tonight?
No, just, I mean, well, wait. I assume we're leaving like the next night or something.
It was
Probably
like
the
the
next
next day,
night.
right?
Yeah.
No, but we're leaving tomorrow. Well, you don't tell me you're gonna tomorrow. We have to be on schedule. It's a long flight, and we have the layover, and then we have to get on another flight. It's so annoying to travel by night. But
I have a few things to pack, but no, I'll be ready.
ominous. Okay. Sounds good. You ready, Dorian?
Yeah.
And you booked them under like aliases, right?
Yeah, Dorian's got it sorted. We worked it out.
I took care of it.
Okay.
We gave all of us aliases, and then we put Silas Jr. Lysander
Very funny.
on the side of the jet.
Ah. Oh, I've actually. I mean, oh, so it's my jet.
Yeah, we figured that'd be best.
Ah, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. And how long is our layover in New York?
It's a night. So basically, the flight path
Yeah, we
and
have to do 2 nights.
yes. So the flight path is you're traveling from Chicago to New York for one night, and you have to stay over for the day in New York, and then you travel the next night from New York to Portugal, to Lipson, Portugal. And you stay over a night there stay over a day there because the flight from New York to Greece is just so much where it's like, even if you did an overnight, it would be the daytime by the time you got there. So you have to basically stop at the nearest stop across the pond, across the Atlantic, stop there, wait another day, and then you go from Portugal to Greece. So Chicago, New York, Portugal, Greece.
Can you imagine if we weren't on a private jet?
Yeah.
Not even a little bit. Wait, what do kindred without money do?
Tough. I don't think they travel like this. So I'm curious though, like, do we, is it common, or I don't know what common would be, but like, would we have like blacked out windows? Like, would this be something, do we have accommodations
I think we'd stay
for
somewhere
kindred flight?
There.
Or we just,
There are
like,
accommodations.
is there a portion where we're going to be sitting, like taking a normal flight, able to talk to each other, or are we
in
a coffin in the fuselage?
Yeah, because we're flying by night, right?
You are flying by night.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you'll be fine. But there are like precautions in case like something was to happen and like the date, like you take a route where you're in the day. So there are areas in the well, I wouldn't say in the cargo, but in the back of the plane, where you would be lightless, in a lightless room. And you have everything like logistically planned out. Your ghoul, Marcus, who is also trained in aviation, is going to be
anything.
Hey, Lucas is learning. Lucas is learning.
Yeah, Marcus, who is apparently special forces, and can
He could fly an
pilot-
F-16 if we had one.
Yeah.
Dude, ladies, get you a man
Why
like
don't we
this.
just send him to the hunters?
Yeah.
Dude, he could take them all.
got a guy.
One guy.
Yeah. So Marcus is your pilot. Maybe Lucas is your co-pilot. I don't know.
Ooh,
He's
ooh,
learning.
Yeah, he's learning. No, he's learning.
He's the flight attendant.
Oh my god, he brings us our little snacks.
Yeah. our champagne or blood, I guess.
And whose ghoul is Marcus?
Technically,
He's my driver.
He was Jacques'
Isn't he?
ghoul.
Lucas is mine. Don't even.
But he would have to get blood from somebody in the family if it wants to be one of you. If you want to give him blood, because he does need it. So, yes, he was technically Jacques' ghoul, though. Oh, Marvin was Jacques' ghoul, actually.
No, Marvin and Marcus are the same
it was
people.
Marcus. He
Yeah.
just
His
called
name was
him
Marcus.
Marvin.
He called him Marvin.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Look, if nobody's gonna take him, I'll take him. If he needs a home.
Dorian should take him.
Yeah,
Take-
I thought
I
he had
want
been my
Lucas,
driver
though.
for
I want
for-
Lucas.
for a bit.
Give me
Yes. Lucas
Take him.
is
Mine.
Willow's. Marcus, Dorian, you can take him.
Thank you.
So
Wait a
yeah,
minute.
Marcus will be your pilot for the
I've grown
flight.
quite attached to him, so.
Yes. Okay. So any other things you guys want to do to prep before you set out on your journey? Any other things?
Silas will be sure to pack his monocle.
Yes, the monocle.
Ah. Oh. I was like, bro,
the
just wear
monocle.
glasses. But you mean your special monocle?
My special eyes, yes.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
he's leaving the normal monocle at home.
Oh yeah, he's not bringing his normal monocle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But Silas will also source a source of blood bags.
Yes, that is actually another logistical thing. So I will, if you guys would like to feed before you leave, just to get that taken care of, I will allow you, because you've had quite a few nights of downtime.
Oh, that'd be good.
I will allow you. I was like, do I even want to make you roll for it? Yeah, you know what? Roll me your hunting roll to see how many dots you can feed off of for the next couple of nights. And just, we don't have to do rouse checks or anything. Just roll your hunting roll, which if you click on the top, you'll see your predator type, whether it's like Scene Queen, Siren, Bagger, or Extortionist. If you click on that, it will say what the role is, Predator Pool. And just go ahead and roll that. And however many successes you get is however much I will say you can feed. Sans going to 0. You can't do that unless somebody wants to kill somebody.
3 successes.
Okay, so you can go down to... You can feed up to 3 dots, but can't go below 1.
Okay, and then can I... Because I was only at hunger 2. So can I have 2 blood bags on...
Yes,
the plane?
you can procure 2 blood bags.
Got it.
2 successes for me.
Okay, so you can feed 2, but you can't go lower than 1.
Can I also like get some like blood bags that have some alcohol in it?
Fun blood
Just
bags.
make sure
Some fun bags.
Fun bags.
Yes.
For the flight, like a little bottle of wine on the flight.
Yeah, can I have them prepared in little tiny bottles just for the experience?
I will say
I want the flight
you
experience.
you're able to procure 2 of those.
Okay.
Let me roll.
I'm trying.
I have 2 successes, but I have something else I wish to acquire in these days.
What would you like to acquire?
A gun.
Okay.
I would like to buy a gun.
I
Okay.
would like to buy a gun.
What do you
Because
have?
I was almost killed.
Yes,
Okay.
join the club. I support this.
Dude,
Yes, Second Amendment
Stay-
rights all the way
stay
here in the
strapped,
Lysander
brother.
family. All right.
Dude. We're rich white people. You know we have guns.
no!
Sorry.
R.I.P.
Marcus is also strapped to the 9s, I assume.
I bet. But the next
Marcus,
time
stay
somebody
strapped.
comes up to me, I want to be ready.
Okay. We'll get to that. Val, what did you roll?
Oh, God.
Sorry. I'm trying to roll. You said you click on predator type, which it does, but then I don't see what I
It
rolled.
should say at the bottom, Predator Pool.
Oh.
For you, it's charisma and subterfuge.
Okay, I'll just do that.
Tracy's like, I know that by heart.
I have a feeling. And subterfuge. Okay.
So, Willow, I will say, I would like you to just roll me. This is a weird one. Charisma and firearms.
Okay. Man, it couldn't be larceny. My larceny is so high.
No,
Don't
firearms
ask why.
specifically.
That's fair. Manipulation and firearms. Okay. Is that what you said?
Yes.
did you say
or
something? Okay.
charisma.
So, yes, charisma.
But honestly, if you want to use manipulation because of your ingenue,
yes.
you can use manipulation.
Look, I buy adder guns all the time.
Yes.
I'm fine. 2 successes.
Okay, with 2 successes, yes. You use some of the contacts that you previously made when you were arming the Anarchs.
I'm an arms
and
dealer.
you are beginning to build a bit of a rapport with this individual, and they are willing to supply you with 1 gun. With 2 successes, I would say, yeah, it would just be a handgun.
Yeah, that's fine. Just like a handgun, like a
Yep.
one you would carry.
Yep,
on a
like
person.
Dorian.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
got
good.
1 success for free out of 7.
Val, you only feed
I don't have time.
1 dot of hunger. And yes, so that is everybody's what's your hunger at right now, Val?
I think that it should be 1.
Okay. I was gonna
Because
say I don't-
I've not really been hungry at any point. But I've
No.
also not like really. I don't drain people to death, so it's
yes.
mostly just been around 1.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to throw shade at Willow? What is that?
I don't drain people to death like
Well,
some
no,
people.
that's how you would get it to 0, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Okay, so you all feed and get yourselves prepared for the trip. Any other last things anybody needs to do before you begin your travels?
Silas is taking a entire like medical kit just out of habit, even though like, we just heal. But yeah, so sutures, scalpels, bags of saline, triage kit essentially.
Yep. Yep. And okay, you guys are flying a private jet, but for any of the people with firearms, you still have to check them. I would assume.
That's correct. They're not in the plane.
You can't bring them on the plane with you, but you are allowed to bring them.
Check my gun.
Yeah.
Dorian would argue about this
too.
for at least a couple.
Dorian argues.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually a good point. I don't know about. You guys have to deal with the customs when you get there.
We'll just slip them some.
Also, bringing a rat to another country probably also will have some issues with customs.
An undead rat.
He's just gonna be in my purse. He's just a guy. He's just a little guy.
We'll just have him
Well, you
fly
could
over
probably
customs.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could probably just let him out when you get out on the plane, and he'll find his way back to you later. You know.
That's true.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
We're fine. This is fine.
I can source the proper paperwork for
A
bringing
rat.
him into the country. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
If he needs that.
I feel like
He's
a
just a
paperwork
rat.
for a rat, because like they're usually like disease ridden. I feel like they're like, yeah, for a pet, it's probably fine. You know,
He's an emotion. What? They
I
can't
don't
take
know,
him
that's
away.
so
He's her emotional support rat.
My emotional support rat.
It's fine. You also you won't have any problems.
It's not a beach episode. It's the Lysanders go through Portuguese customs episode.
The TSA.
As I was saying to the players earlier, the hardest thing with running a game in like real world is like thinking of all the real world logistics for things that are supernatural. And
I mean, none of this will be TSA won't be a problem once we have that ancient vampire. So
this is true.
And also,
Yeah.
can't
TSA won't exist.
you just
bring him on the plane?
can't you just awe them a little bit and they just like
I was gonna
goggle
say
at you?
also,
Always.
yeah, like the
Oh, yeah,
disciplines
yeah.
also could probably help to get
Dorian,
yourself.
stop
That's
arguing
true,
with the
actually.
nice man. Listen,
I
he
guess
gets really
actually
emotional
Dorian
about
would
this.
definitely do that. He would just dominate whatever. He would bring his gun on
You
the
don't
plane.
let me bring my
100%.
fucking gun
Yeah.
on board.
Okay.
He would just bring his gun on the plane.
Listen,
You know what?
motherfuckers.
What the
We're supposed to be keeping a low profile. Stop dominating the TSA agents.
This is actually what's happening. I like the quick little TLDR of what's happening as we transition to the next scene, which will be the travel. But we will spare you all the nuances of the travel, of getting through the plane to your private jet. As a matter of fact, as we were discussing offline, I was like, the crew will be flying out of Midway to a private airport in New York, and that is the first leg of this journey. Any last things? This is your last request before
Last
you
chance
leave.
in America.
The last chance in America before you leave Chicago. Your first time leaving Chicago in some time.
Can I bring my phone with me?
You can.
I'm bringing my phone.
That's the least suspicious thing you're bringing with you.
Gun,
During
a
the-
rat,
during
a
the
phone. I got the essentials that every girl needs in her purse.
Using it, or are you like smuggling it past?
I'm gonna
us,
smuggle
too?
it. I'm gonna be normal about it.
Mhm.
And then on the plane, I'm fucking using my phone.
Okay.
And that's that. I got people to talk to.
And so you all get on your private plane. It's not the same plane that you knew growing up, the Lysander plane that has all the specific personalizations that your family would have. This is still obviously a very nice plane. It is a jet that has just like a couple of individual seats for each of you. It has a room in the back for sleeping. And it's just rather small. And there's like one attendant who's there to help you all with things that you need. You have your two pilots in the front. And you all, in the evening, get yourselves ready to go on a quick 3-hour flight to New York, the first leg of the journey before you spend the next day flying over to Europe. So you land not far from JFK and in a private airport, and Marcus takes you all to a really nice, luxurious penthouse in New York City, in Upper Manhattan. And you spend the night there, or you spend the day there, I should say. It is blacked out and safe and protected. And of course, you have your ghouls here with you during the day to protect you while you're here. And you spend the day. And I hate to say it, but you know, I'm going to do it. It's a day. So, and the next night, I would like you all to rouse check for the next night.
Silas gets hungrier.
Success.
Okay.
Success.
Sorry, my demiplane's going very slow.
All good. It is a little slow.
Oh, fail.
Oh no, poor Val. Val,
I'm gonna be hungry when we get to Greece.
yeah, Val, you do get hungrier, and the rest of you are good.
Okay.
So your flight is within the next couple of hours, and you have a little bit of time to kill in New York. Most of you decide to just lay low because there's really not enough time, but Silas, you're here in New York, and
I am.
you know that your sire, Aisling Sturbridge, is the High Regent of the Chantry of the Five Boroughs of New York, and she, the last you spoke, did say if you ever needed to contact her, she would be available. So you make your arrangements, and she does say that she has some time to meet with you on this night, if you so choose.
And he will definitely go to the Chantry of the Five Boroughs.
And this chantry that you go to visit, she gives you the coordinates. It is located in Upper Manhattan, in a neighborhood of Morningside Heights, actually on the campus of Columbia University, specifically Bernard College. You find the prestigious Tremere Chantry in New York City. You find the entrance and make your way in, and this chantry is gorgeous. It is very well decorated, and it definitely gives you, it has more of the, it does have a bit of a college vibe to it in some ways. There are books, the library is extensive. You see several Tremere faces you've never seen before. And with some direction, they take you to the off. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the tip. They take you to the office of your sire, Aisling Sturbridge.
He will knock on the door.
Upon knocking, you see somebody stepping out, a younger man with darker hair. He just kind of looks at you. He looks, and he's well dressed. He's in like a suit. He just kind of opens the door. He doesn't greet you or anything. He just kind of looks at you and walks past. And you see your sire look, and if it isn't my child, Silas.
Hello, Sire.
Welcome. Welcome to New York.
I have to say, this chantry is gorgeous.
I'm glad that you think so, because I'm the one that did all of the interior decorating of this particular chantry.
I mean, this chantry makes the Chicago chantry look like, I don't even know. I'm trying to be nice.
Well, you will be delighted to know this is actually one of 5 chantries we have in New York.
Oh,
Yes. This one here is the main chantry, of course, where I have most of my operations. But no, there's one in the Maupassant room, the annex at Kenilworth, the Jewish Museum, and a 5th one that I'm working on re-renovating.
that's impressive.
Yes, the Tremere operate here much differently than Chicago.
Seems you're much more welcomed in the city than we are.
Indeed. But that's why we have you and many of the other kindred Deuceable. You're there to help rebuild and reestablish in Chicago. And soon, I'm sure, the chantry will be just as thriving as this one.
And yet, we don't have a place in the Primogen Council.
Unfortunately. Unfortunately not. But don't be discouraged by that. It is, in these nights, rather difficult for the Camarilla to get secure seats. For the Tremere to get secure seats in the Camarilla. Since the breakdown of the pyramid and distrust grown within other clans to our clan, it has become more of a challenge. But who are we without to face a good challenge?
I like that. A challenge, yes. I don't mean to take up too much of your time. I'm only here for the night. But I did want to stop by.
Only here for the night. Not staying in New York.
No, we have a layover.
And where would we, I assume your siblings with you?
They are all present in New York, but I made sure they would not cause any trouble.
Of course. I appreciate that. Where would the Lysanders be off to in these nights?
Greece.
You see her eyebrows raise at that. An interesting choice.
We are getting ever so close to finding out the true family trees that we all belong to.
I'm sure your father is ecstatic about this trip.
He's not aware. We didn't tell him, as far as I know.
She has a smile on her face at that. Interesting choice, Silas. Not inform your father of your travels.
We thought it'd be... Look, with the state that Chicago's in, with our recent hunter attack, did you hear?
I did hear of the unfortunate attacks. I'm glad that you and your family are safe.
Yes, I mean, relatively. First time experiencing a large flame in my young unlife. That was unpleasant. But I've already started research into how to combat that. I'm sure there's something I can do. As you know, I don't like being out of control of myself. Dominate fear. They don't suit well with me.
They don't suit well with many, Tremere.
But with the current state that Chicago's in, we figured it'd be nice to get out of town, especially since the target was on our backs. And look, I'd be lying if I said it didn't have ulterior motives. A little vacation to our homeland, as well as a little sleuthing.
Going right to the source, I see.
My sister Val has been leading this charge. This is information given by her sire, Annabelle. Apparently her and my uncle were very close, and she kind of lit the fuse for the family.
That makes sense, actually, now that I think about it. Annabelle is a very old kindred.
But as
She-
always, I still have my reservations. Just giving this information freely, getting us out of the city, something doesn't sit right with me.
It's always good
seems-
to question.
Yeah,
Yes.
it seems almost too convenient. But
Perhaps they want you to know these things.
Perhaps, exactly. But other than that, I intend to try to keep a low profile and keep everyone in check.
I trust the learnings that I previously left with you have been fruitful then. The things that, at least that was a start to learn about your family.
It was. Admittedly, I didn't crack the book for some time. It was sitting on a shelf until proverbial shit hit the fan.
Yes.
But it was a
Well-
great help. I appreciate your support there.
I'm sure while you're there may be even more things that you have to read and learn and decipher. And I hope that whatever it is you learn, you would be happy to share with the Tremere.
Of course. There are some happenings in the Chicago Chantry that trouble me. I was wondering if you can provide some assistance or any knowledge that you have.
What is it that troubles you?
There's two things. One, my lab assistant, Simone. Do you know anything about her?
Not much, other than she's quite young, like you.
She came from Louisiana, she said. New Orleans.
Yes. Glad that she escaped.
She's been very helpful, but she's a little... And I don't mean to be rude. She is a great help, and I like her. She's a good Tremere. But she's a little too open, a little too chummy.
Yes.
And
It's very rare to find Tremere who are open and chummy.
Yes. And recently, I created a homunculus.
her face also at that just kind of the eyebrows raise again. You made a homunculus.
I did. And when he was birthed, if you want to call it that, she assisted with it, but she immediately went to Deuceable. It was not my inclination to hold it from him, no. I mean, in my eyes, look, I keep my rituals and learnings to myself for the most part. But I'd like to think in Chicago, raising the knowledge for the Tremere will benefit all Tremere. I don't really see why she'd run to Daddy, especially when she had a part in playing in its birth. But that's just something small. I'd just like to know more about her. But if you don't know much, that's okay. That's not the main thing that troubles me. There's been someone frequently coming to the chantry. A dark-haired woman, and she has black eyes. She's been visiting Deuceable quite a bit.
You see your sire, you know what? Roll me a wits and insight.
Okay. Tracy's like, I did not expect this.
Yeah, I did not expect you to bring this up. Yeah, just roll me a wits and insight.
3 successes.
Yes, I've seen her as well during my visits. And you see Ashling's face, you see her eyes shift. You can tell from this point she's been pretty open and honest with you, but her arms also cross, and you can see, like, the body language, she's being a bit more reserved in this moment. I've seen her around as well. I believe she is somebody that Deuceable has been working with.
Do you know if Deuceable has many ties to the Lysander?
No,
I
don't think he does.
He owed a boon to one that my father's been getting close to.
Interesting.
But I know this woman is not Tremere. But she is welcome in the chantry many times.
That woman, she is. You are correct. She is not Tremere. But she is very old and very powerful.
So stay on her good side.
Yes.
Okay. And you just see Silas kind of just lowers his head and staring at the floor, and he's just thinking.
Do you know how to read Greek, Silas?
I mean, I think when I was younger, our father made us go to Greek school, but not since we were little.
You should learn to read Latin and Greek. It'll help with certain rituals, and of course, studying older texts. Many of our rituals deal in Latin, some in Greek.
Well, Latin's a lot easier. You actually take a couple courses of Latin in medical school.
Yes.
The
Where
old
you're
ways die
going.
hard, that's so they say.
It might be wise for you and your siblings to recruit somebody who knows Greek then, as many of the things you'll be reading or looking into perhaps might be only in Greek.
Funnily enough, I didn't think of that. We are going to a foreign country.
Yes.
Do you have anyone you can recommend? Any contacts you have over there?
There may be some Tremere that you might be able to get in contact with. I have not visited that chantry in many years, if it even still stands. So I'm sure there are some there. It's been a while since I've made contact in Greece. I may not be of the best help. But I would say maybe try the university. One of the universities in Greece.
Okay, that's a good start. I mean, if anything, I'm sure Dorian or Val can dominate or glamour someone.
That may be the easier route.
Well, I thank you for your time. I wish I could stay longer.
Yes, well, perhaps sometime you can make a more extended stay in New York, and I will take you to all of the chantries here in the 5 boroughs.
I'm looking forward to it, and it really is just gorgeous. You've done well. And
Thank you, my child.
I know it might sound weird, but I'm glad I am your child.
She smiles at that. Though you're not my only, I am glad that I have a child who is quite wise and very astute, and apparently was able to make a homunculus.
It did take me the better part of a month, but yes.
I'll have to come by sometime and see your work then.
I named him Silas the Third.
Fitting. Very fitting.
I have yet to reveal him to the family, though. They are quite grotesque, aren't they?
They are, and just do be careful. Sometimes they do get a little... After some time, they begin to be a bit more resentful than they are more of the servant type. You may watch them get bitter and resentful as the years go by. They usually don't last more than 5-6 years. So if you keep them any longer than that, it might not be the best option.
That's good to know. Thank you as always, sire. I really appreciate it.
I hope to see you soon, my child.
And if I do find out any information, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You as well. Safe flight. And Silas, you take your leave, taking in one last time this beautiful chantry, the beautiful stories high books, and the elegant older decor of this building that has been around since the start of New York, of Manhattan Island. And you take your leave and head back to your siblings, who have been probably getting ready to leave, as you have a couple of hours before your flight. Marcus pulls the vehicle up, and you all get back in the car and on the jet and make your way to the next leg of your journey. This flight, a bit longer than the previous, the longest leg of the journey across the Atlantic Ocean. And it's been some time since any of you have traveled. Your unlife has taken up so much of everything. It's a bit surreal in some ways that you get to take these journeys, but for Val, it really is nothing, as she's done this quite a few times already. So you kind of, as maybe you all are a bit more, even in some ways, anxious, she is calm and collected and ready to take this journey. And you go across the Atlantic and make your next stop in Lisbon, Portugal. And once again, you are taken to a luxury hotel right on the coast of Portugal and rest for the day and make your way to the next evening, where I would once again like you all to make a rouse check. To see how you do for the next night.
I failed.
Silas gets hungrier. But he has blood bags. He's got blood bags.
Man, I'm very lucky on these rouse checks. I'm good.
All
Okay.
he do is win.
I got a success this time. So I stay hungry.
I'm going to tap into one of the excess that I brought.
Okay. You tap into a blood bag.
I have one
and
left.
You have one left. Whew, it's gonna be hard for Silas.
Oh, are you hungry though, Val? Because I could give you one of my booze bags, my fun bags. If you wanted to.
Not yet. Maybe I might take you up on that at some point if they're not all gone. But I'm just at 2. I'm okay.
And
Okay.
I mean, not to be that, but unless you have bagger, you don't satiate hunger from blood bags.
Is that true?
Yeah.
No, I think you can. You can. When you're older, you can't. As your blood potency goes up. But I believe.
I don't think so.
All right, here we go, guys. Last time Chris corrected me, he
Oh,
was
gosh.
actually wrong.
Oh,
So
him,
we'll
Tracy.
find out. We'll find out who's. If I'm not mistaken,
Because you need iron gullet to eat old blood.
not old blood. Well, just like you need a fresh blood bag, but you can feed from a blood bag as the current generation you're at. Once you get to like Jacques' age, yeah, you need people.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, actually though, I can't because I have a higher blood potency, so it only slakes half hunger for me.
Yes, that is correct. Because you're at a higher blood potency than the rest of
Yes.
your siblings.
But it's not warm
Yes.
from the body.
Oh, here we go with the technical.
I'm just saying, like, there's a reason you take bagger
I
to
don't
drink
want
from blood
any
bags, you know?
anyways.
I would say if it is a blood bag that is more recent that you can drink from. But if it's an old ass blood bag, yes, perhaps your siblings wouldn't be able to. But you guys
So if we
take
prepped
drink.
it for this trip, it would be different as opposed to like grabbing one from the blood bank itself.
Yes,
we
because
couldn't
like
do.
at Elysium,
Okay.
like you guys drink from like goblets of blood and stuff. Like you don't have to drink straight from the source. Like, yeah, the YouTube comments are gonna. Okay, every time we discuss mechanics, somebody in the YouTube comments will
Yeah.
will be correcting us.
Yeah,
This is not an invitation, by the way.
Yes.
I'm just
don't.
saying.
We don't like when you do that, by the way.
Yeah, please don't correct us. I mean, you're going to, but please don't.
Yes. But I will say again, because it's to my game. Because I in my game I have fed from a blood bag many time,
Got it.
and I am
Okay.
not a bagger. So again, I will allow them to feed from a blood bag if it's somewhat fresh.
I'm good.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm fine. I'll get something in Greece.
Okay.
I'll get something when we land.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'll get room service when we land.
The next leg of the journey progresses, and another shorter flight for the evening, where you head from Portugal to Greece, and finally you arrive at your destination. As you're flying over the beautiful Mediterranean, and land at an airport near Athens. Athens International is nearby, and you overlook the rocky peninsula and the archipelago of islands of Greece below you. The night sky shows all of the lights across the coastline of Greece, and you see all of the beaches and all of the islands across the warm Mediterranean ocean, or ocean, I should say, the Mediterranean Sea. And it's looking out the window as you're arriving, it does make you realize why so many people are drawn to this beautiful country. It is, so much of it is really the beautiful coastline that you see. Many of the luxuries, though, that draw all these tourists here is not something any of you can enjoy anymore. The warm sun, the beautiful weather. It's a luxury you can no longer enjoy, but there's more to that. There's more to this country than just that. This country of Greece, it produced a people and a culture that influenced much of the Western world. Not just for humans, but also for kindred. And that is something that you are soon to learn as we arrive in Greece. And we will take a break. And when we return, the Lysanders will take on Greece in Athens for now. We will see where the night leads them. As the night is still young, you still have time this evening to do things after your travels. But we will take a break, about 10 minutes, and we will be back for the second half of Ancestral Blood in Greece. So be right back, everybody.
At night.
At night.
This is WTWXN Satellite Radio, where we give you the news with a clue. I'm your host, Sheldon Marie, ready to debunk those conspiracies, shine light on the hoax, and remind you that the monster under your bed is just a figment of your imagination. Today, we're going to be fighting on the front lines, folks, against public enemy number 1. This man has earned 2 doctorates, if you can call him that, from Princeton in philosophy and archaeology. He's an author of 2 New York Times bestsellers, Bigfoot's Big Blessings, and why you should know the unknown. He's also the leader of the Astral Blessing Society, our special guest, Dr. Jesse Gemini. Doctor, pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you, Mr. Marie. Happy to be here.
Please, call me Sheldon. Now, I've read your book. Out of all the tinfoil quacks we've had here on the show, I gotta say, you're probably the first one to gain such a strong following. The question is, how have you been able to twist the minds of thousands of hard-working, honest Americans towards your toxic way of thinking?
I was warned of your enthusiasm towards your own viewpoints, Mr. Marie. But witnessing it in person is most impressive. No, there's no manipulation that needs to be done to my congregation, when all I have to do is feed them the truth.
Interesting term to use, congregation. I would lean more into a different word, such as cult.
Now, we are just a community of thought-provoking individuals that have come together to explain the unexplained, Mr. Marie.
Yes, like Bigfoot, the Jersey Devil. What's next? Baba Yaga and garden gnomes who steal your TV remote? Doc, we have reports of people joining your little community and emptying their entire life savings in support of your sham.
Do those same sources explain the charitable foundations in which we put those funds? For instance, the Good Heart Organization, which is specifically made for families who have been altered by what you call non-existent happenings.
They wouldn't need assistance if you weren't brainwashing their loved ones.
So we are to blame for Y2K, is that what you're saying?
Oh, come on.
Mr. Marie, 100,000 people don't just vanish out of Times Square in the blink of an eye.
The government was quick to explain that that was some sort of chemical attack from our enemies abroad.
Strange. After 5 years, our government still hasn't been able to explain which enemies those were.
And at the same time, they start their own Department of Otherworldly Activities Containment for folks to call on when they're dealing with such, yes, more waste of taxpayer dollars to appease the ludicrous ideals of individuals like yourself. Almost as bad as those vigilantes running around calling themselves monster hunters.
There have been similar happenings all throughout the states. Paranormal activities, possessions, mysterious plants and creatures that can't be explained by science alone, all the way from Portland to San Diego. Even NASA has ignored the stars and looked towards the Mariana Trench because the unknown isn't in some galaxy far, far away. It's right outside our front porch.
So really, Doctor, you're going to look me in the eye and tell me that ghosts, ghouls, and goblins are ready to knock on our front door?
I refuse to stay ignorant in the face of fear, just because my brain can't fathom what it's witnessing. Yet. Take your friend Adam, for instance.
Excuse me?
I mean, Mr. Marie, you weren't always a radio host. Didn't you want to be a bioengineer?
I believe I'm the one interviewing you, Doctor.
Smart young man that you were, losing man's best friend at such a young age does something to a child.
How did you?
You did everything you could to try to bring that old pooch back. To no avail. And then your father died in an accident a few months later. Tragic.
I
believe the paper said it was a lawn mowing accident. But I guess that's the best way to cover up what happened to his body. I understand, Mr. Marie. You just wanted to bring your friend back. Too bad that when you did, you came back with such an empty stomach. Sheldon, I'm a man who refuses to be left in the dark. And these strange happenings do not have to be hidden away because they feel like curses. They should be exalted for what they truly are. A chance to ascend to a higher calling. Why don't you stop by my office sometime and learn what it means to be informed? And I'll show you things that'll make Adam look like a typical Sunday morning. Seems Mr. Marie needs a commercial break, folks. But before we leave, listeners out there, remember, the Astral Blessing Society is open to anyone who wants answers. Like I always say, there's no need to fear the unknown. This program was brought to you by the Good Heart Foundation. Good Heart, making sure your family isn't just good, but safe.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second half of Ancestral Blood. Thanks for the patience during our break, and hope you enjoyed the little interlude of a certain radio broadcast for a certain upcoming program, Monster of the Week. I know it was a bit confusing of what it was, but what could it be? What does it all mean? You'll have to find out on July 10th, Wednesday, July 10th, for our series premiere of our Monster of the Week campaign, The Weird, run by GM Craighams. Now, Lysanders, you step off of your plane, your jets in the evening, and you're met with the warm air of Greece. And you enter into your car, and Marcus drives you to where you'll be staying for the next few nights. A luxurious, beautiful hotel that is right on the coast of Athens. And you overlook the gorgeous Mediterranean, and you see buildings upon buildings all across the coast and nice, beautiful beaches. And as you enter, you are greeted with all of the delicacies of Greece. Food, wine, olives, everything you could possibly want at your immediate disposal. And of course, with this, you arranged for individuals that you can feed off of.
Storyteller,
All of the
what
things you need.
What about Greek music?
Yes. As you arrive, also, with the many hospitalities that this hotel has offered you for Greece, they also welcome you with wonderful Greek music. And with that, you overlook the gorgeous sea in front of you, enjoying the luxuries and delicacies of Greece. How do you all feel upon arriving?
Uncomfortable.
In touch with my ancestors, truly. As I feed Machiavelli an olive.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Jillian.
Jillian Foxglove.
Hey,
Welcome to
thank
Greece.
you.
Welcome to Greece.
Welcome. Welcome, everybody.
We're vampires in Greece.
Yes. Thank you for the raid. So, what would you all like to do in the interim, as you're kind of just overlooking the water in front of you?
Well, there's a lot to do here, but
We should get to work.
Nasty, I was going to say maybe the opposite, but maybe we should just take some time to plan out what we want to do. Get a drink, enjoy the night here.
Or we
We're
can
in
immediately
Greece.
get started on what we're here to do.
I have some ideas.
Okay.
First, we should research the particular areas that have to do with the burning of Carthage. Second, we're only 2 hours from Delphi, which is, as you may know, a very, very important historical and mythological site for oracles. So perhaps it'd be a great place to go get a premonition or to meet other people like me who can tell us. Those are my thoughts.
Maybe keeping the premonitions to yourself is the safer route.
Well, either way, it would be, it's kind of like the place for those kinds of things.
Val, one thing that you received from your sire, and The instructions she left with you, or the leads at least, it was pretty clear. The best place for you to start, at least with Jacques, is right at the source in ancient Sparta, It's a place that she said that he was going to. Unclear where. Probably some sort of ancient site. But that is the lead that she gave you.
Okay, and we don't have any like connections in the way of like people like that he was dealing with or anything like that, just that he was up to something.
That's about all that you know.
Okay.
I am going to give you all one other bit of information that perhaps in all of the other things that have been happening in your lives, it's not something that you've really thought about for some time. But as you're here and you're kind of taking in the scenery of Greece for some of you the first time, it does dawn on you a reminder of a sibling that you had, Alan. You remember that he was studying overseas, and while it does seem like he did travel a bit like Val for his studies, you know he was studying anthropology, and you know that some of that was in Greece. It's just a thought that may come to you.
Did he go to school here?
He did.
Was there a specific university?
Yes, and I did write it down somewhere in my notes. Where the frick is it? Ah, here it is.
Is it Aristotle University?
No, it is National and Capodistrian University of Athens. It's University of Athens, I guess.
Okay.
And then Val would have told y'all about what she knew about Sparta then. So you would have that information as well.
Sparta doesn't exist anymore, though. Well, at least it's not called that anymore, right?
You know, I looked this up because I had wondered the same thing, and I think it is still like it is still Sparta from my understanding. And somebody can correct me because I was like trying to figure this out. But like if you if you look on Google Maps and you type in Sparta, it'll just be like Sparta. So I was like, okay. I was like, what's modern day Sparta?
I don't know. Willow, look it up on your phone.
Yeah, I think it's a city and municipality.
It is still a city. It's
still
in
a city.
Laconia, a city-state in Laconia.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's.
You
and
brought the
that's where
phone with you?
Yeah. What if we need it?
And what if they're tracking it?
It's called Google Translate because I don't know if any of you know how to read Greek, but I don't.
I'm sure we can
have
find
other
someone.
options. We could hire a translator.
Well, I brought it.
Turn it
Yeah,
off.
I don't have a map either, so.
Yeah, Google Maps.
Turn it off.
I have location services off right now.
You think that's gonna stop?
But on your bill, it's just gonna say National Travel Plan.
All right, look, it's probably. Have you contacted anybody?
No.
Okay, so if she turns it off, we're probably fine.
You haven't contacted anybody.
No.
You haven't texted anyone. You haven't Snapchatted anyone. You haven't put like
What? People don't use Snapchat anymore, Silas. First off,
Well,
and
some people do.
Well, apparently they're starting to use it again, but I don't know why.
oh, that's interesting. No, the only person I would talk to is Adder, and he can't use his phone right now. He's still in Chicago.
Just for our safety, please just turn it off.
Okay, and she'll turn it off.
And I don't. Maybe we can find like some sort of like tinfoil wrapping to wrap it with.
I don't think it's that serious.
Foil?
We are
You
being.
hear yourself, right?
We are being hunted.
In Greece?
I think we can just take like the SIM card out.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
so Sparta's a city still. I'm sure it's easy to find out what the historical attractions are. I'm sure we could just ask someone on the street, although hopefully they speak English. Or you can use Google Translate.
I brought it.
Okay. Well, so to Sparta then.
How far is that? I guess I would have, if I knew this information coming in, I would have found out like at least how far it is and like that sort of stuff beforehand.
Yeah, it's not far. It's probably a couple of hour drive.
132 miles.
2 hours. And a half,
we're in
according
Greece.
to
We're not
Google-
using
to
miles
Google
anymore.
Maps.
Yeah, what's that in kilometers?
213 kilometers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just get a driver. We already have that. Dorian already booked us a driver for the week. Or,
Yeah,
well,
I
not
know.
Dorian. Dorian's assistant or whatever. But.
I think it's across the water too. So if I'm not
And a boat driver for the week.
if I'm
Well,
not
now we need a boat.
mistaken,
I'm not
Range,
getting
I
on a
think?
fucking boat.
if you
I
wanted
think
to,
can
you
do
could
this
take
by
a boat.
car. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
you
What
can.
about?
You
Can we
can.
just take a helicopter?
Oh,
No, but really.
Surely one can land on the roof of this place, right? We wouldn't stay at a place that doesn't have a helipad.
Val, I thought you were the smart one.
Me? Why would you think
I
that?
don't know.
alternatively, like you could also, you know, you could stay here for the week, but of course you can get other hotels elsewhere. So if you want to drive there, stay there, you know, whatever you guys would
I
like
think
to do.
having our driver shouldn't be. I mean, 2.5 hours isn't that crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like.
Well,
That
also,
makes
we can
more
just
sense.
book a room there just in case. I mean, if anyone is looking for us, it's better to have more rooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Call our guy. What's his name?
Marcus.
Well, it's Marcus.
Oh, it's
Marcus.
Marcus. All right. I forgot we brought our driver with us. Sorry, rich people things I forget sometimes.
Marcus, you don't speak Greek by chance, do you?
So
I speak many languages, sir, but unfortunately Greek is not one of them.
I was
Add it to
waiting
the
for you to
list.
say he speaks 7 languages.
I know
and Greek was
Spanish,
one of them.
Mandarin, Italian, but I don't know Greek. I'm trying to think of like what are like the big languages? Like he knows like the main
German.
like
French,
German, yeah, French, German,
Japanese.
yeah. He probably knows like
Damn.
those, but like Greek is not a language that is
Well,
as common. So
Lucas
So
is
maybe we would
learning it
hire a
right
tran-
now.
we would
you,
hire
you bought him a
translator
little,
then.
little dictionary at the airport for Lucas?
Yeah, he was in the plane, the co-pilot seat, just studying.
He'll have it down by the end of the week. He'll be solid. But no, we could hire a
whole
translator,
language.
right?
yes, you can hire a translator, or of course, if you wanted to just like dominate somebody and be like, please read this, you can do that. But you hire a translator.
Speak in English.
Wait, question. If I dominate somebody that doesn't understand English, do they have to understand me for that to work?
You know, that is a question I've never thought of
Like
in Vampire the
command in
Masquerade.
D&D.
Do you require to understand to be dominated?
Y'all, my players my players always ask questions that I'm like, oh man, it like stumps me
I
sometimes.
feel like dominate. I mean, this is just personal opinion. It's not at all rules. But dominate is you like dominate, like you're taking over, so they should do what you want. It's not like you're telling them what to do, right?
Rote's your
I mean, you are,
energy.
but I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe they would need to understand you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would think
I
they need to
guess.
understand
I
you.
guess so.
Yeah. But regardless, you guys are just gonna hire a translator to look through some of the stuff if you need it, and to get directions and talk to people and everything like that. So you do, and you get a guy who who's able to help you and join you. His name is, what's a very Greek name? Dimitri.
Stavros.
Demetrios. Actually, no, that's what's his name? That's
Critias's
Critias's.
it just leaked in. Demetrios.
Yeah,
Oh
it
shit.
did.
Stavros. There we go.
Stavros. I like that name. It's a good name. Okay.
Strong name.
So okay. So you guys would like to embark toward Sparta, yes?
I mean, that's what Silas wants to do. I mean, Dorian was saying, let's relax a little bit and enjoy the
I
nightlife.
thought take a night to drink and plan, but if we got the
Take a
plan
night to
ready to
drink.
go, let's go.
I
Why
mean,
not?
I'm also not opposed to Willow's ideas. That's just the only piece of information that I have is the Sparta thing. But those are valid ideas as well. So whatever, if someone was to push in that way, that would also be fine with Val. One or the other is good.
She'll go to Sparta first.
Okay.
And then if I got to, I'll wander to Delphi on my own.
Okay.
It's not far.
I'll go with you. I've been there once.
Okay, so you guys get in the car and drive through the windy streets and roads of Greece and head to Sparta. And at this time of night, the tourism has died down a bit, but there are still people wandering the streets, still people out and about for the evening. And you, is there anything, like any places you're thinking of starting or looking, or any like initial thoughts on what you would like to do?
Willow, you
I
said you had a
am not
vision of this
enjoying it
place?
right now.
Yeah, I could try and figure out where. I remember it.
I think that'd be a good place to start.
I agree. It's not like we have a ton of clues to go off of.
Well,
So,
okay, yeah, I'm just googling things,
which
which I definitely did on a computer before we left. Are we allowed to use computers? Wait, no, that's the same.
no.
It's the same as phones.
You
huh?
used
Okay,
an
I made
atlas.
someone-
you used
I-
a map.
She bought a
I
globe.
I got some nerd at the library to look it up for me. It's fine.
Oh, easy. Relax, all right?
It was Silas. Yeah, because there's like the Acropolis, and that's like the big thing, right?
Yeah, the
The
necropolis.
I don't know how much that is, or also how
The
like
necropolis.
I don't know how touristy these places are. You know, like if it's just like somewhere that they could actually hide something or not. But,
Yeah.
I'm fine with following the vision. Otherwise,
There's,
we just like ask for popular places.
I'm trying to think. There should be one of the few sanctuaries of Artemis is located here. That's still standing.
Oh yeah, the Sanctuary of Artemis Orthia.
Yeah, there's also Athena has a place here too. She has a temple. Newsflash, she has a bunch.
Willow, are you like kind of just? Is this something Willow is thinking about, or is this? No, this is a genuine question because I have something. Like,
I mean, I guess it would make sense. Momo knows this because she has a special interest, but also art history, which I took a lot of. So it stands to reason Willow would take a lot of art history as well. This is pretty big art history place. So honestly, it's for once pretty reasonable that she would match my knowledge on this as well from art history, since that's part of her degree.
it's interesting that you begin to kind of list out in your mind some of the places you've learned about in your studies and history, Willow, because as you're going through it, perhaps in your own mind, or maybe you're actually verbally saying those things to your siblings.
Oh, verbally. She's saying it out loud, definitely.
But when you say there's a sanctuary of Artemis Orthia, that's where something hits you, the premonition. It comes in, and you guys all watch as Willow's going through, and then she kind of just goes blank for a moment as a premonition begins. And you begin to see a sight. A beautiful structure and architecture of a sanctuary with a goddess. What you see below it is children. And for the sake of the stream, I won't say what it is that you see, but you see, unfortunately, horrible things happening. Sacrifices, things like that, in front of this statue. But it is clear there is a goddess in this sanctuary, and she stands over. And then you're brought back.
There's a little, like almost kind of like a little robot reset of like, and so, yeah, what was I saying?
What were you saying?
The
You okay, Willow?
sanctuary?
Oh, the sanctuary. Right, we should go there.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, seems interesting, if nothing else, right?
Here's a idea though, or maybe we should consider. Silas, you Tremere are good anywhere you go. There must be a chantry here somewhere. Is there a possibility we could look into that, or would we need to announce ourselves to the local Camarilla?
We would need to, for me to step foot in the Athenian chantry, yes, we'd have to introduce ourselves to the Prince of Athens. We are here essentially breaking the law at the moment.
Is that something we should consider?
As long as no one does anything stupid and feeds on their territory, we should be fine. That's why I want to get out of here as fast as possible.
Okay.
We're
So that's
sure
a no to
Stavros
the
doesn't
chantry
understand
then.
English, right?
He's
Our
translating,
translator?
doesn't he?
Oh, that's,
Ha-
oh, that's true. Yeah.
I
Oh,
was like-
yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
I sure hope
Brain
he does.
fart. Brain fart. Yeah.
Oh, Stavros goes in the other car.
Ah, okay. With Lucas and Stavros. Got it.
Stavros meets us there.
Got
He has
it.
to
Got
drive
it.
himself.
Okay. Understand. Did he question
Meet
why
us
we're
there.
going to Athens in the middle of the night?
Not for how much we paid him.
Ah, okay.
Right.
Okay.
No questions asked, okay?
Understood.
So you make your way over there to, or you begin to travel to the sanctuary, Iero Orthias Artemidos, as you see
Wow.
the sign in Greek, and then underneath it in English, Sanctuary of Artemis Orthia.
Okay, Willow, you seem to have a bead on this. Where do we go?
Yeah.
As you all actually begin to drive into this location, it really isn't that much of a sight. This sanctuary, it was clearly destroyed, probably because it was some sort of worshipped by pagans, and then in some time it was destroyed, and what you see is really just ruins. of what once was a sanctuary to a goddess. And stepping in this land, it feels uneasy for all of you. Something in your blood stirs. This area, this location. It feels uneasy. I would like you all to roll me a wits and awareness.
Seven successes.
Oh my god, I assume you rolled a crit.
I did.
Four.
Three
Four
for me.
successes.
I have 3
Three.
successes.
Three for Willow as well, you said?
Four.
4. And then what was it for you, Dorian?
3.
3. Silas, you walk closer to the ruins of this temple, and there's no the area. There's not many people here. Even like there's no tour guides or anything like that. Everything's closed down, and there's not really much in the way of security. This area is pretty remote from the major roads in the rest of Sparta. So it's pretty secluded where you are. And as you're walking in, you feel the place of where your ancestors once were. And you can't explain why. You know that this area is where your ancestors once walked.
There's something here.
Yeah, I know. Lots of people were sacrificed here.
No, more than that. I can feel a connection.
What does that mean?
You all begin to feel it now that your brother says that.
That vibration in the Vitae.
Yeah. Our family's been here. This feels like home, weirdly.
And I think as Silas feels this, he's going to run back to the car, to his bag, and grab his monocle of clarity.
Yes. Your monocle of clarity. In that moment, you grab it, and this magically infused monocle gives you the power of Auspex to a heightened degree, beyond anything that you've ever used or seen before. And for the time being, you can now roll any Auspex rolls as if you have 5 in your dice pool, 5 dots in Auspex.
And it
upon
especially works well against obfuscated things, correct?
Yes. Obfuscated, but I will also say this also works for things not seen in other ways, not just by obfuscation.
And he will put the monocle on his eye, and he'll cast Sense the Unseen.
When you cast Sense the Unseen, which I don't think you need to make any rolls for that, it's just activated, you feel and see a presence below you. Somewhere below this temple, the ruins of it. There is something below.
There's something underneath. I can see it.
You can see it.
No, it's there.
You move closer, Silas, and you see some pillars and ruins and rocks. And as you walk closer, you see one small plaque. And something written in Greek. Stravos taking a quick look, it does just say Artemis Orthia. And with your monocle, you see below it a large, like, I want to say like a cinder block, but it's like larger than a cinder block, a large, like, big stone that looks out of place from the rest of the stones here. And you see it's infused with magic, blood magic. Like, this stone is sealing something shut.
Oh boy. Does anyone else see this?
See what?
None of you see what Silas is seeing.
I assume
Well,
not
you
even
see-
a sense the unseen would do it, right?
Probably not with yours. The one thing, if you, like, now that he's pointing it out, you see that the stone doesn't look like the other stones. So that's one thing you see. But you don't see the magic over it.
Okay.
No, I don't see anything. Well, I mean, other than it looks different.
And does this stone has Greek writing on it?
Yes.
Give me a notebook, pen in my backpack.
Yep. I'll get it. I'll get it for him.
And he's, obviously he doesn't, he can't write Greek, but he's gonna try to, as good as possible, emulate the letters.
You're able to emulate them.
Stavros, what does this say?
You see that written on the side, or he like, this is where this is written is like on the side. It's not like a really like in plain sight, the plaque. But he reads it and he says, Vasilos Lysandros.
And that means?
Vasilo Lysander. It looks like a name.
Oh.
Interesting. Is this a name that rings a bell on any, like...
Ever
Okay.
in our lives, in our childhoods, in anything?
Dorian, back to the backpack. Get the book. Front pocket.
Yep. Got it. It's without question, he goes and grabs the...
You go and grab the book, the history.
Vasilios?
Yes, Vasilos, Vasilos. And you go back and you look in this book, and this dates back. It's not as far back as you would think. Let me just pull up my notes here really quick. I believe it's actually only like the 1800s. One moment. I just want to make sure I get that right so I don't mess this up. 1818 is the year that name comes up.
It says 1818. That's when this person was alive. Or died.
Hmm.
Okay, that's old enough to be a...
What, over 200 years old? Yeah.
When
Well,
did...
we have no idea. I mean, that's what if that's when they died, they could be any age.
No, that's true.
No. All right, let's think. When did Jacques always say that he came over to the United States?
In the 1800s.
Okay. What if this is the place and that's when our family came over? Like, started anew.
1818.
Possibly.
Or around then. I guess we would have to ask him.
I mean, whatever is here, it's... Is the ground... Can I still see something under the ground, or was it the rock that was giving the...
It feels like something is under the ground.
Silas will try to push the rock or move it and see if that triggers something.
Silas, you move the rock. And it does move without any sort of explosion or something happening to you. It does move. You're not sure if it triggered something or what happened, but you're able to remove the stone. And you see below the stone stairs. Looks like they were man-made stairs, not natural. But stairs that lead to something below this temple.
Oh,
You all
Yeah.
see this as he removes the stone.
We're definitely going down there, right?
That's what we came here for, is it not?
and it's the reason that Uncle Jacques stopped responding, or whatever, didn't want him to find this anyways.
Well, should we be, quiet about it?
Yes. Would you expect to go in guns blazing?
Maybe
could.
save the gun. Maybe
Let's
guns
not.
at the ready.
No, I could send Machiavelli ahead first if you want.
Oh my god, I totally forgot we brought him with.
He could go look and make sure it's safe.
You can't, like, tap into his eyes and see through them, can you?
We've
Not
never
yet.
tried that.
Oh.
But he can definitely go down real quick and make sure it's safe and then come back.
We'll send him in.
Send in the rat.
Send in the rat.
Send in the rat, Machiavelli.
I just want to point out I'm going to be keeping a close eye on our translator. I'm just
Yes,
pointing out-
I was
Yes.
thinking of a way to talk to you about that. But yeah, if he needs his, like,
We
memory
could just
wiped
tell
or
him to
something.
go away. We can
Yeah.
tell him
I
to go
am
wait over
ready
there.
to wipe. Yeah, I am very.
We gave
ready
him
to
like
wipe
a
his
year's
memory.
salary.
We gave him like
I,
$100,000.
I guarantee we gave him a few $100K.
$100,000.
Yeah, we
And
gave him
damn,
$100,000.
half up front,
$100,000.
half up front, half once we're done with him.
Damn.
Alright.
And then if you want to wipe his mind, you can do that also. But
I mean, I am
he's
gonna
not gonna
wipe
run
his
right.
mind.
He's not gonna run right now.
Yeah, I am 100% planning on wiping his mind. He will forget this entire experience before we go, and I'd probably let you guys know that.
Look, I know
That's the
you,
plan.
Willow, before you send him in, we don't know what's down there.
I know.
I just wanted to bring it up.
He's smart. He's not going to confront anything.
Okay?
Okay, Machiavelli, go down, make sure it's safe, and then come back and report for your treat.
He just, in the process of finishing a large olive, finishes chewing that and scurries out of your hands and heads down the stairs.
I will just kind of crouch down at the base of, like, at the start of the stairs, kind of waiting, very nervous.
You wait. A minute passes. 2 minutes pass.
I hate this.
3 minutes. 5. 7.
How far does it go?
10 minutes. And Machiavelli doesn't return.
Willow, call him back or something.
No, he would come back if it was time to come back.
I mean, he's a small rat. There could be a lot of stairs, right?
No, he
Yeah,
can
how
fly.
far down? You said you could see it, Silas, right? How far? Do you
How
have a
far?
sense of
Yeah, how far
this
down is this feeling, this vision, this glowing through the monocle?
It doesn't feel that far down. The presence, it's not, yeah. But this is also like a small site, so it doesn't seem that far down or that far deep.
Okay.
It's not that deep. Maybe 40, 50 feet down.
Yeah.
It's
Willow,
right there.
Would you know if something happened to him?
Nothing's ever happened to him.
15 minutes pass.
I've got to go. I can't leave him down there.
That's why we sent him, so that we wouldn't get hurt.
We talked about this,
Okay.
Willow. I told you before we sent him down, we don't know what's down there, and you were okay with it. That doesn't mean you go after him.
Well, hold up. I mean, I don't know about you, but all that tells me is that we should be cautious because I'm still going down there. Are we here to investigate or not? I mean, Machiavelli's a rat. I understand. I'm not saying that he has no value. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is what takes out a rat is not necessarily going to take out us. So we should continue.
What would be looking for a rat, though?
Guys, now's not the
Uncle
time.
Shaw.
He knows my.
I have a working theory though,
Exactly.
and
What?
if this is what we've come to look for, Dorian should go first. No.
After Machiavelli.
After Machiavelli, we
You want
send
me to go
Dorian.
ahead and then in 10 minutes, if I don't come back, you guys, who's
Send
third?
another.
Yeah, who's next?
There's
Silas.
scientific purposes, you guys.
Oh, well, go on. Don't pause so dramatically.
Neither of us,
Belong.
not you. I almost said Momo.
Oh,
not
he
you,
has a
Willow.
gun.
Not you, Willow. Nor you, Val. Nor I have Lysander blood in our veins anymore. A Lysander has to go first.
Okay.
And he's got a gun.
And sure, he has a gun. Whatever.
And and then I pull.
Got a gun.
I pull a gun. Because I do that almost whenever it's mentioned. I will say it.
No.
All right, Mr. Gunn,
so
go
embarrassing.
first.
Within this bickering, to your surprise, perhaps you see Machiavelli return.
Oh my God! Plus!
And in his mouth, he has a parchment, a piece of parchment.
What's he got?
You look at it, and it's a small, ripped, torn parchment with dried blood. And what's written on it is all in Greek.
Oh,
And Chris, if you would like to
Yep.
show the image of what I have, this is what it looks like.
Uh-oh.
Stavros.
Snapped for him.
Here.
He reads it, and at first you see him reading it out loud in Greek, but then he translates to English. The fall of Carthage, as led by Lysander. My sire, a goddess. In her name, I continue to thee.
Can we get that written out?
Yes.
Call
Yes.
Bell that one. Okay, who wants to translate the translation?
Where did
So-
you find this?
On the-
Machiavelli, where did you find this?
On the back, you see, and then he turns it over. Some of it is actually not fully, he can't fully understand. It's a word. You see Stravos, he's like, this is not a word I have ever heard in Greek. But he says, this reads, where Malkavian, Toreador, and Ventrue came together to bring Carthage to an end. And it's like part of it, but it clearly looks like there might have been more written, but this parchment, it's not, it was either ripped or torn or not fully there, but that is what reads on the back.
Eyeball
Well,
emoji.
Is that blood willow? Is it fresh?
Is it fresh?
Looks old,
No.
old.
Looks old, yeah?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Maki, when you ask where did he get this,
Where did you get it?
his nose twitches, and you can see he looks scared.
He's scared. Look at his little nose twitch.
Give me the note.
This is a smart rat.
And Silas will
She'll hand it over.
tear off the corner of the note that has the blood on it and pop it into his mouth.
Okay.
God, Silas, you're so weird.
God.
All right.
I'm not
You're
allowed to
like
have a
that.
phone, but you're allowed to do shit like that?
And I'm gonna cast a taste for blood.
It seems disrespectful to,
I know-
a
it
historical
requires-
It's like we
artifact, but
found it.
It requires drops of blood, and he knows that. But if there's anything he can gleam off this, that's what he's going for.
I love
Okay.
this.
1 moment.
Okay, so you won't drink blood from a human, but you. Okay, never mind.
What traits can you discern from this?
Let's see here. I can identify whether the blood belongs to a mortal, ghoul, vampire, or other supernatural creature. It may not necessarily be able to identify the supernatural creature, if not kindred or ghoul. Tasting Vitae also determines the relative blood potency, and thus the likely generation of the vampire. A critical win also reveals whether the subject has ever committed diablerie, and the generation within one of the vampire. If the user knows the supernatural creature in question, i.e. Garu, they can identify the specific supernatural creature on a critical win after tasting the blood.
All right, roll me resolve and blood sorcery. God.
It's crazy.
You didn't see that coming.
3 successes.
3 successes. Do you want to spend willpower to re-roll to see if you get a crit?
Yeah, why not?
Fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
Fuck it, we ball. No crit, 4 successes.
Okay. What you discern from the blood that you that you eat, or consume. This is a kindred blood. This is kindred blood. It is Ventrue. It is not Lysander blood. Oh, I can't ask a question without spoiling what it is. That's all you get from that. No, that's all you get. That's all you get.
That's all you fucking get.
It is old dried blood, so I will take that. So once again, It is kindred blood.
It is Ventrue, but it is not from the Lysander bloodline.
It's not Lysander.
It is very old generation as well.
Older than Jacques?
Let me just look this up because
Curveball, Tracy. Curveball.
It is older than Jacques. It is 5th generation.
Oh,
Okay. So, we are learning for one thing that our family has.
It's
been
old,
involved in some-
very old. Approximately 5th generation. And it's Ventrue. But it's not ours.
Are we gonna go down there?
Yeah, Dorian first, right?
Yeah, sure.
Pull out your gun.
I don't think a gun's gonna help.
It's already in his hand.
it's already out. Gun's already out, baby.
There's clearly information we need down there, and
So be careful.
Okay.
Machiavelli's scared, so he doesn't scare very easily.
All right. So, we're going.
Yeah.
And then Dorian cocks his gun. And
That's not gonna help you.
we're going to Greece.
Come on, familia. Let's go.
Family.
Family.
yeah, Dorian would go ahead and take the
Dorian,
first
do you
step
go first,
down.
as your
I'm-
brother suggested?
Someone's got to go first, and yeah.
Someone's got to report back.
No, you guys are coming.
So you're
right?
staying?
You're not coming.
No, I want to go.
I thought we were all going.
No, but Dorian
Oh,
first.
but Silas is staying.
No,
are
I'm
you
going
going
with.
Okay.
No,
I
can
have
I
the
go
mo-
next in line?
I have the monocle on.
Sure.
It's my.
Oh
my
yeah,
ta-
maybe
it's-
you
it's
should
the
be closer to the front too then.
No, I can see much better from back here. Dorian goes
All
first.
right. Girls.
It really feels like
middle, in the
you're like, planning on like running at the first sign of danger. I just want to,
This is as you should. If something goes wrong, you should run.
all right.
You know Silas is a lover, not a fighter.
Just ask Thea.
Oh!
Sorry.
Wow.
I had to. I had to.
Oh,
I had
I'm
allowed to
gonna
say that.
ask Thea if she's alive still.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm talking about, Silas.
Dorian, you head down. Willow, Val, the two of you head down together, and Silas, you follow. The four of you head down these creaky stairs that look like they were built probably hundreds of years ago. Not centuries. Actually, it would be centuries, but not like ancient times. You can tell this is like not as ancient as the stuff outside, but it is quite old. You head down these creaky stairs, leaving your translator and your driver and everybody outside. You walk into a dark, no light, small room. The first thing you see is papers, books everywhere. All look like they're pieces brought together. Parchments, some much older in nature, some more modern. One that says, in English, history of the Peloponnesian War, one that says Taurus, one that says Camillus Ventrue, one that says Toreador, Michael, one that says Malkavian, Alcius, another that says the fall of Carthage, and the last one you see, Hardestat Ventrue. These are all parchments and papers collected together. It looks like somebody was collecting them, and on the top of one of them you see written accounts by Aristotle de Laurent and Celestin. And as you're looking at these, you then look into the center and you see something's missing. There's an outline, a perfect outline. And it doesn't take much deduction for you to realize what this outline was. An outline of a sarcophagus was once here, but it's gone. Looks like perhaps it was sitting here for such a long time that it made an outline. But it no longer is here. And Silas, the last thing that you see, to perhaps your horror, as you're looking with the monocle, you see something incorporeal in front of you. You see a spirit, a ghost, a wraith. You're not sure what it is, but it stands in front of you. And it takes you a minute. It's not somebody you were expecting to see. It's your brother, Alan Lysander, standing in front of you. His spirit stands in front of you, and you see tears on his face. He's crying, and his hand reaches out.
Silas would reach back. Silas isn't that trained in ghosts and spirits.
You reach, and you all see Silas, your brother, begin to stretch his hand out. And you reach for your brother just to see him, and more you see the tears, and you can see him mouthing out the word, brother. But as you stretch your arm out, there's nothing there. You feel nothing. Just tears. And I would like to say that is where we could stop for the evening. I had more planned, but I realize it is midnight for the East Coast. We can stop there for the story, for the sake of the story. I will leave it up to you all if you would like to. I do think this next scene, although I know Val may not be present next week, that is the one thing, but I know this next scene might take a bit of time. So I'm not sure what to do. I was like, man, we'll get this all in one session. It's like, damn it, no.
If you could give me a little breaky poo, I'd.
Yes, because I know Momo's a bit of a time limit right now.
Yes. We could take a break, but I will.
If I could hop up for 15, that'd be.
I think let's take that got heavy. Let's take a 15
Yes.
and come back
Yes.
to complete this episode.
Okay, sounds good. Let's take a quick
Alrighty.
break. We'll be back, everybody. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
This is WTWXM Satellite Radio, where we give you the news with a clue. I'm your host, Sheldon Marie, ready to debunk those conspiracies, shine light on the hoax, and remind you that the monster under your bed is just a figment of your imagination. Today, we're going to be fighting on the front lines, folks, against public enemy number 1. This man has earned 2 doctorates, if you can call him that, from Princeton in philosophy and archaeology. He's an author of 2 New York Times bestsellers, Bigfoot's Big Blessings, and Why You Should Know the Unknown. He's also the leader of the Ancestral Blessing Society, our special guest, Dr. Jesse Gemini. Doctor, pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you, Mr. Marie. Happy to be here.
Please, call me Sheldon. Now, I've read your book. Out of all the tinfoil quacks we've had here on the show, I gotta say, you're probably the first one to gain such a strong following. The question is, how have you been able to twist the minds of thousands of hardworking, honest Americans towards your toxic way of thinking?
I was warned of your enthusiasm towards your own viewpoints, Mr. Marie, but witnessing it in person is most impressive. No, there is no manipulation that needs to be done to my congregation, when all I have to do is feed them the truth.
Interesting term to use, congregation. I would lean more into a different word, such as cult.
Now, we are just a community of thought-provoking individuals that have come together to explain the unexplained, Mr. Marie.
As like Bigfoot, the Jersey Devil. What's next? Baba Yaga and garden gnomes who steal your TV remote? Doc, we have reports of people joining your little community and emptying their entire life savings in support of your sham.
Do those same sources explain the charitable foundations in which we put those funds? For instance, the Good Heart Organization, which is specifically made for families who have been altered by what you call non-existent happenings.
They wouldn't need assistance if you weren't brainwashing their loved ones.
So we are to blame for Y2K, is that what you're saying?
Oh, come on.
Mr. Marie, 100,000 people don't just vanish out of Times Square in the blink of an eye.
The government was quick to explain that that was some sort of chemical attack from our enemies abroad.
Strange. After 5 years, our government still hasn't been able to explain which enemies those were.
And at the same time, they start their own Department of Otherworldly Activities Containment for folks to call on when they're dealing with such, yes, more waste of taxpayer dollars to appease the ludicrous ideals of individuals like yourself. Almost as bad as those vigilantes running around calling themselves monster hunters.
There have been similar happenings all throughout the states. Paranormal activities, possessions, mysterious plants and creatures that can't be explained by science alone, all the way from Portland to San Diego. Even NASA has ignored the stars and looked towards the Mariana Trench because the unknown isn't in some galaxy far, far away. It's right outside our front porch.
So really, Doctor, you're going to look me in the eye and tell me that ghosts, ghouls, and goblins are ready to knock on our front door?
I refuse to stay ignorant in the face of fear, just because my brain can't fathom what it's witnessing. Yet. Take your friend Adam, for instance.
Excuse me?
I mean, Mr. Marie, you weren't always a radio host. Didn't you want to be a bioengineer?
I believe I'm the one interviewing you, Doctor.
Smart young man that you were. Losing man's best friend at such a young age does something to a child.
How did you?
You did everything you could to try to bring that old pooch back. To no avail. And then your father died in an accident a few months later. Tragic.
I
believe the paper said it was a lawn mowing accident. But I guess that's the best way to cover up what happened to his body. I understand, Mr. Marie. You just wanted to bring your friend back. Too bad that when you did, you came back with such an empty stomach. Sheldon, I'm a man who refuses to be left in the dark. And these strange happenings do not have to be hidden away because they feel like curses. They should be exalted for what they truly are, a chance to ascend to a higher calling. Why don't you stop by my office sometime and learn what it means to be informed? and I'll show you things that'll make Adam look like a typical Sunday morning. Seems Mr. Marie needs a commercial break, folks. But before we leave, listeners out there, remember, the Astral Blessing Society is open to anyone who wants answers. Like I always say, there's no need to fear the unknown. This program is brought to you by the Good Heart Foundation. Good Heart, making sure your family isn't just good, but safe.
Welcome back, everybody, to Ancestral Blood. Thanks for sticking with us for this scene that we will have before we end for the evening. And I would like to bring it back to you, Silas, and the rest of you. You see your brother outstretch his arm, but you've not yet know what he's doing.
Sorry, 1 second. Just wanted to make sure the music wasn't too loud. Perfect. I didn't want to believe it.
Are you guys seeing this?
I'm sorry. Alan. I'm sorry, little brother.
What?
Silas?
You good?
What?
What are you seeing?
And he wipes blood from his eye.
Hey, what's going on, Silas?
You don't see that.
No.
The like catacomb that we're in?
It's Alan.
What are you talking about, Silas?
He's right here.
No. Silas, he isn't.
He's right fucking here, Dorian. Put the monocle on.
Dorian reaches to take the monocle and looks through it.
Dorian, you look through the monocle, and it takes a minute for your sight to fully attune to this device. And you glance around the room. It takes a second. But you see the same sight. You see in front of you the tears and outstretched arm of your brother, 18 years old, Alan, Lysander, standing in front of you.
Oh my god. It is Alan. Alan. And he's gonna reach out also.
You reach out and the same thing. You feel nothing in front of you, but you see his form through this monocle.
Is he? He'll give the monocle to Willow.
Willow. Same thing. You put the monocle on. You see your brother standing with tears down his face. For you, all around him, you see wisps surrounding him. And you see cuts along his side.
Like long ones or short ones? Like
I should say they look like where somebody would feed.
He's dead.
Can you talk to him?
I'm gonna pass it to Val so she can see.
No.
No, I'm pushing away. He's not there. He's not there.
Yeah, he is. I can see where he was killed. It's on his side.
A part of him is here, at least. Silas, you know better. What can we do? Can we help him?
And
I
it's at this moment you all hear footsteps walking down the stairs. You think for a moment you told Stravos and you told Marcus not to come down here. So it takes you by surprise when you look behind you and you see neither of them. You see a woman. She stands only 5'4" tall, rather petite, and dark hair. She looks down at all of you. You are, this is no mistake, you are Lysanders. And she sees like the looks on all of your faces. I have been looking for you for some time. I have been trying to write to your family. Forgive me. My name is Francisca.
do we
I-
sense that
Francisca.
she's kindred?
Yeah, is she?
You do.
Okay. You know our
I-
family then?
I knew your brother and your uncle. They were here in Greece.
At the same time?
Yes.
Recently.
A few months ago.
Alan was alive a few months ago?
Yes.
Fucking liars.
Another. Are you surprised?
I did care for your brother. He was not kindred. I think he was something else. I think your kept him as a ghoul.
Our family,
One second.
our brother as a...
1 second.
Oh, yeah, we're frozen.
Oh no!
Ah,
Fuck.
Oh no! Did we lose the?
No.
It looks choppy, but
Oh.
it's moving again.
all right. We should be good now. We're back up. Just had a little blip.
Chat? Are we good, chat?
Are we smooth, chat?
I just need one thumbs up to know that we're safe.
It's really
choppy. Twitch was freaking out.
The
Okay.
spirits are interfering.
Yeah,
Dude,
this is
the-
literally. This
Dude,
is
the
literally.
rates are interfering.
Got it. There we go. Okay.
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 Thumbs
So
up.
you're
I see a
saying-
thumbs up.
Are you telling me that our family kept our brother as a ghoul?
I do not know the intricacies of everything that your family was doing, but Alan needed blood. So yes, I suspected that he was a ghoul. I have been wanting to talk to him, but I have been in search of a fetter something that he cares about. Something that ties him still to this world. And this place, he came here. And it was the last time I saw him. I have been searching for Feder, and it has brought me to you. I sensed you here.
This Feder, what do you need it for?
I need it to try to talk to him. If I can get... Yes, I have. I have rituals that will help me speak to what is beyond the veil in oblivion. And that is where your brother is right now. His soul, it has passed on. And he is being tormented in oblivion right now. He did not pass peacefully.
Do you know what this place is? You knew about this place before?
I knew that this place was a source of your family's history. Your brother knew that as well. He was studying your family history.
These books,
Have
are they
you been
his?
here before?
I have not been down here before, no. She looks around. This is my first time here.
So you spoke to him when he was alive?
Yes, and the last time I saw him, he said he was coming here. To the temple
With
of Artemis.
Jacques?
Jacques was here as well, yes.
And he happens to have feeding wounds on him?
Please. All of your questions could be answered. If you would allow me, I have the ability to speak to him. You can all speak to him.
Do it.
The process is not always pleasant, but I'm sure your brother would love to talk to you.
He's in pain right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk to him.
Yeah.
Is it unpleasant for him or unpleasant for us?
It may be both ways. It'll be unpleasant for me as well. He will be speaking through my voice, through my mouth.
Why help us? You don't even know us.
I cared about your brother. We met at the university. And admittedly, I want to learn as well. Your family obviously has many ties. Ancient history. I wish to learn for my clan as well.
I guess that's fair. Whatever it is you need, I can give it.
One of you will be the fetter.
Oh, what does that mean?
It anchors him to this world. That's how he talks to her.
The rest of what I need, I have already. You see her actually pull a pair of pliers and pull 2 teeth from her mouth.
Oh.
And she gets on the ground and begins making runes in front of you immediately. It takes a couple of minutes. And And the last thing you see is her pull out some sort of parasitic creature and swipe the blood from it, like a leech or something. She swipes it and places it on the ground. And she says, in just a moment, I will be able to bring him and his spirit here to talk through me. Are you ready?
Yes.
One of you needs to stand in this circle.
I'll stand.
Silas, you move to the circle. And you watch this Hecata get on her knees. And you hear sounds, guttural screams and cries come from her mouth for a moment, and it frightens all of you for a second. It is a guttural sound that you've never heard before, and in that, her mouth opens, and you, with your monocle for a second, see a spirit go into her, and you watch Alan's spirit possess her momentarily. Her eyes shut, and then open. And look at all of you, and you see tears of blood immediately fall from her eyes. Silas. Brother.
Alan. What happened?
I'm sorry that...
No, don't apologize.
This place... it is full of great evil. This is where I died.
How? Was it Jacques?
He didn't want to. It was an accident. Everything. He came down here. The sarcophagus. He was getting ready to move it. Something happened. I don't even remember what it was. But it took him. It took Jacques. I was going to help him. And it left me down here to die. I was stuck. And I couldn't leave. I tried banging on the rock above, tried moving it, but I couldn't move it. Something was keeping me down here. Jacques is gone. And I'm gone.
No. You're here with us now.
I just... Silas, maybe our family was right. I was not meant to be like the rest of you.
No. You were the best of us, Alan. I'll take you home.
You can't. I'm locked down here forever. And I'm never going to be able to leave. And the spirit begins yelling. And you all see this. You see the woman, her body begins moving unnaturally in some sort of anger and rage. I'm never gonna be able to leave!
Your bones. We'll take your remains back. Put you to rest. You won't have to suffer anymore.
We'll figure this out, Alan. It's okay.
It's our family. I've learned everything. I learned about our history while I was here studying. Do you know that Lysander was an actual Spartan general? A person that led great wars.
We didn't.
I thought it was fascinating that our family name goes all the way back to a general. A Spartan general. And it was just my own curiosity. I wanted to learn more. I looked through our family history. Until I begin to not make sense. All of our family, something happened, something didn't quite add up. And when I began asking, everybody just told me I was crazy.
You weren't crazy.
I know. Jacques told me to stay here and not return to Chicago to see all of you.
He told us you were dead.
Why? Why would he do that?
I don't know.
He told us
He said he
a
wanted-
year and a half ago that you were dead.
And they already wrote me off then. I was not meant to be like all of you. And that's it. You all have a special plan, and I was just the one that found out too much and got tossed to the grave underground.
Did Dad do this? Did Dad set you up for this?
Dad. You see this, a pause. I can't remember. My mind. Dorian, it takes you a second. And you kind of put the pieces together that something might have happened to your brother's mind when you mentioned Dad.
I don't know how this would work because he's possessed, but could I? Assuming that maybe Dad did some kind of cloud memory, can I undo that with my own compel or cloud memory? Can I say, like, remember, and would that work if he's in this body?
Likely not, especially because he is no longer corporeal.
Even if Alan can't answer, we'll get answers. But I'm not going to let you stay down here. I will take your remains home.
Alan, why
Val,
were you moving it? Why were you taking that thing out of here, you and Uncle Jacques?
I don't know. Jacques said that things were getting more serious back at home. And it might be time to move it.
And now that thing is out. The thing that killed you and took Jacques.
It took him? What do you mean by take? Killed?
It's
I
out?
looked. I think it might be. And the thing is, when I saw it emerge, I thought it would be the general that I read about. I thought it would be them, but it wasn't. It was a female. A female emerged.
Woman.
Okay.
You don't have any idea who it was?
No.
Did they speak?
I couldn't see anything after that.
Yeah. We failed you, Alan.
No. No.
You should
I
be.
miss you all.
No.
I miss you all so much.
We miss you, Ellen.
We
I
should
thought
have
about you every
questioned.
day.
Failed you.
It's not your fault. None of us knew what we were getting into in this fucked up family. None of us knew. I know what you all are. And why couldn't I be it too?
You don't want this.
I think Jacques wanted me to be like the rest of you. I think he was ready to do it himself. But something stopped him. I don't know if it was his own mind or maybe he had a change of heart. But he was going to do it. Now I'm God. And I just feel so trapped here where I am.
Get you out.
We'll
I
figure
just
out a
can't
way.
believe you came here to see me. You came all the way here.
We're gonna take you home, Alan.
Where you should have been this whole time. You should be with Mom.
Mom?
They didn't tell you?
No.
Mom's gone too.
What the fuck was going on here, Alan?
Dorian.
I'm not mad. No, I'm not mad at you. I'm just what did they do to you? I don't understand this.
They
I
did
mean,
what they do
I
to
know-
everyone, Dorian.
I know Dad didn't think of us really as a family. I knew he was selfish, but this? How could Dad do this to our brother?
You see her grab her temples for a moment, and then you hear Alan speak. I can't stay here much longer. Every minute I stay here, I think about the pain. I think about being trapped and wanting more blood, and nobody here to give it to me, to feed. And I slowly began to fade, crying for help. And then everything went to black. And now I sit here forever, This is goodbye.
Goodbye, little brother.
Willow, Dorian, Silas, Val, I love you.
I love you.
We love you, Alan.
I love you.
We'll take you home.
And you watch as once again the guttural cries from her mouth as it fades from Alan's voice into her own once again. And you see her once again fall back to the ground. Her eyes open. And you still see a tear of blood down her face. And she wipes the blood from her face. And Franziska looks at all of you and just says, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
And that is where we will leave off for this evening. The conversation with Alan, learning more about the truth of what happened. Perhaps questions still, but many answers. Thank you all for watching Ancestral Blood.
Thanks,
we
everyone.
will be back next week. Make sure to always hydrate and take your own breaks from heavy scenes, okay? And take time to process them, as we all will need to also. Thanks, everybody.
Hope y'all enjoyed the beach episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much for partying in Greece, everybody.
We should have listened to Dorian.
We really should have taken that night to
Yes.
drink, huh?
Yep, you should have.
We're taking the whole jet plane back.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you on Tuesday for Blaze of the Dark and next Friday for Ancestral Blood. And hang out in the Discord for all of the episode updates on all of our future shows. Good night, everybody, and don't let the beast win. Bye.
Bye.
Or the Methuselah.